Hi guys, so welcome back to my channel, welcome back to another video, and in today's video I'm gonna be duping the newest Krayptein palette, which is the Sunset Symphony, I think that's how it's called. And I don't know what happened, but my initial footage with me kind of going through all the shade names, picking out the shades, and then creating the first look got destroyed. I don't know what happened, but when I tried to upload it to my computer, I cannot open it and I cannot find it in my original device either. Like something happened along the way. So you're just gonna see the end result for the first look and then me creating second look and reviewing this duped palette. If you want to see me recreating the first look, I can do that as a short or maybe even as a get ready with me. Let me know if you would be interested in that. I can definitely do that. It's not a problem. I just need your opinion and your input on that. So I'm really sorry that you can't see me getting ready for the first look. It really bugs me because I love that look. I am so obsessed with that one. So I'm just gonna pop the actual duped palette. All the shade names will be down below in the description in the order that they are in the palette, and I always do first row and then second row, so that's how you're gonna see them. That's how they are, and I'm really sorry that the footage got destroyed. Yeah, I really don't know what happened. I've actually built a new duping palette, which is the Krayptein Cosmetics Sunset Symphony, I believe that's how it's called. And I've used a couple of the shades for this very fun look. So I actually have this shade, which I think is called, it's from the Ocean Jewel palette by Bella Beauty Bar, and I will put on the screen how it's called. And the other shade from that palette is this deep blue. I think this is Sunken Treasure, and I don't remember this deep blue. So again, I will pop it on the screen, but that is used for this like kind of inner and outer linery part. And then on my lid, all over my lid and over here, is this shade, which is a shade from the Monk palette by Fantasy Cosmetica. And then on my lids, I used my Cleo Nut Shine On primer. And my main primer underneath the matte is the Catrice Grip to Last eyeshadow primer, by the way. But the Cleo Nut primer, and then I have this shade, which is called Just a Dream from Micka Beauty Shop, on the lid. This one, which is from Sinful Echo Sense, called Riptide, in the inner corner, like on the top of the inner corner. I didn't want it to cover the blue. And then this shade called Medusa on my lower lash line. It's such a beautiful look. Like I love these shades. It's a very inspiring color story, and I love this look. I feel like that look is just absolutely stunning. So I mean, please tell me it looks good. Like I love this. Oh, it looks so good. I feel very like fierce and ready to take on the world. So what I actually used, I talked about the pencil from Glisten, the dark blue Spectra paints. Then I have my Catrice Fake It Volume and False Lash Mascara that I'm currently in the process of reviewing or like testing. And I have that on my top lash and on my bottom lash. I actually have this Essence All Eyes on Me Multi-Effect Mascara because there's not a lot of product there, so it doesn't really look all that great on top lashes, but it's perfect for bottom lashes. I just want them to like slightly be burnt black, but I don't want them to be like spidery. Since this mascara is new and it has a lot of product on the wand, my bottom lashes would be a little bit too crazy for this look. And since it's more like elongated look, I don't want to drag it down with long lashes on the bottom, but I just want it a little bit. So that's what's there. Then I'm testing the Catrice Soft Glam Filter Stick. This one is the Glow Booster in the shade 010 Fair Light, which I've actually used in my full face of Catrice that I talked about. And I have that all over my face. And then I also used my L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation in powder. I kind of powdered the center of my face with this. And this one is a little bit darker, so it fits more now that I have a bit more tan. And And again, this one is in my like monthly shop my stash because I'm still kind of working on my like review of this. I don't think I've featured it in my monthly haul yet, so it's gonna be in my monthly haul that I'm gonna film in like a week and a bit. And I want to use a couple more times to make sure that I actually know what I'm talking about when I'm gonna review it. Concealer is the Catrice Insta Bright Serum Concealer Medium Coverage in the shade 001N. It's really light. Like I'm probably gonna get away with this in the winter, or maybe I can use it to lighten my like other foundations, but it's definitely too light on me for like daily use. And then on my lips, I have this Catrice Creamy Nudes Lip Pen in the shade 050 Happy Hazelnut. It's kind of like a jumbo pencil. It's a really nice kind of brownie one. It's very like hazelnutty color. So I have that as a liner. It's actually really comfortable. I feel like you could use it as a lipstick as well. It is quite like soft. I think it's gonna transfer a lot, and I don't think it's smudge proof. But it is very comfortable formula. So as a lipstick, I feel like it could work. And I'm using my Project Pan lipstick, which is the Ocean's Eye and Angelica Nico's Halloween bundle lipstick, the matte one in the shade Swamp Fog. I have the red one and then this terracotta one, and I feel like I'm closer to finishing this terracotta one, so I've been really like focused on this one to be able to eventually like roll it out, because I would love to finish it by the end of the year. And I feel like I'm getting closer and closer, like it's getting really, really light. Blush is the Revolution Fast Base Blush in the shade Peach. Then a highlighter. I've actually mixed my Beauty Bay Mini Charms palette and the shade Pluto over here that I don't have much of with my palette crush of the month, which is the Glam Shop Sorbetty palette, and the shade Meatos. I kind of wanted to play on with these like soft tealy shades and the warmth of the brown. So this is how the cheeks look like. So this is how the cheeks look like. I think it's a beautiful combination that I'm enjoying a lot, actually. So that's for the face. I also forgot to mention I have my Summoner 2 from Odin's Eye. And one of my focus shades for this month is the shade Meteor, this soft sparkly purple, and I actually have that on my brow bone because it just works like that. I wanted to like add on a little bit of that sparkle and a little bit of that purple, but all the other shimmers, I feel like they're too sparkly and they have too much of like color, so it would be very obvious on the brow bone. But this one, I feel like it also like matches kind of the cheeks. So that's what I used. And I don't know if I mentioned my brows. So and for my brows, I'm mixing the shade New Leaf from the Merry Christmas palette that I'm like really getting good use on, with the Sweet as Can Be palette from Colourpop and the shade In My Tumbly to make it work, like because this would be way too red and way too like dark with my hair. This makes it slightly more, the green shade makes it slightly more like gray, which usually your brows are cooler toned than your hair. And I have the Maybelline Superlock brow glue. Hi guys, so here's gonna be the second look. I've already primed my lids with the Catrice Grip to Last eyeshadow primer, and now we're gonna use this shade from the Monk palette. Again, I'm gonna pop on the screen the name of it because I've actually written all the shade names in my phone and I'm recording on my phone right now, so that's kind of what happens. But yeah, I'm gonna use that in the inner half. Now this one, it looks almost like mustardy in the pan, especially if it's in the original packaging. Here with the black background, it looks a little bit more like a cinch color, like this brush, which is the EO6, but it's actually a lot lighter on the eyes, which is good because a lot of the shades from the Monk palette look pretty much the same in the pan, but then on the eyes you do actually get a lot of difference. It's just, you know, it's just something you have to kind of figure out on your own skin. Okay, so something like this. And then in the second half, I think yesterday we used this brownie shade, so today we're gonna use this orange, kind of like an orange brown. It's very warm, like pumpkin-y orange. I'm gonna do the same thing on the lower lash line. I'm using the EO4 from Glaminatrix. This is a beautiful small pencil brush that you can use either for your lower lash line or for like more detailed application. I'm really enjoying this. And then we're gonna go into the deeper shade and use it in the second half. This is one of the, or it's kind of like an iteration of a look that I do a lot in the summer because I just love these colors and they make me happy. And right now they also correspond with a lot of shades that I'm trying to pan, so, which is amazing. Like, I love the fact that now I have shades that I can kind of use in this way, and it's always good to pan eyeshadows that actually like give you a look that you like to wear. Now I'm gonna take this EO6 from Glaminatrix. It's a beautiful liner brush, and I'm gonna use this shade, which I think is Toe Beans. It's from this palette, from the Smitten palette. I actually have it in my brows together with one green shade that I'm trying to pan. Kind of like a very cool tone green shade from the Merry Christmas palette by Udenside. So I mix them together to fit my hair, and I feel like I'm almost there. Like, it's a little bit too gray, but also I feel like your brows are supposed to be more gray than like normal hair. And I'm just gonna use it for a liner. And what's funny is most of the time when I'm reaching for this palette, I am using this shade, so I would definitely say that it's like a favorite of sorts. I'm doing like a thicker liner because that's how I feel like today. I'm also gonna use it on the upper lash line. Even though like you won't really see it all that much, but I want the pink to go from this area as well. I just feel like it just makes the look a little bit more cohesive. There were a lot of times where I wouldn't do it this way, and I used to like not really line my top lash part, but I feel like lately it's been kind of something that I do, you know, like the way that you kind of change your makeup style and your makeup preference over time. So I used to not really like it all that much, and now I love it. So okay, now that this is done, I'm gonna use my Cleonat Shine On Shimmer Primer. And now I don't fully remember which shades we've used yesterday, but I'm pretty sure we're missing Enigma from Micka Beauty Shop. Then this is the shimmer shade from the Monk palette. And then this, which I think is Biscuits from this palette. So we're gonna start with Enigma. I'm gonna use it on most of the lid. So there's a beautiful blue, green, pink, purple, gold. I don't know if I said green. It's just such a like stop. And it literally, like, you can use it on any color base. Like, it doesn't matter if you have yellow, orange, green, purple, blue, pink, like whatever base you have, it will kind of magically adjust to that. But then you move, and like when I move, this is green, this is pink, this is purple, and then there's like a hint of blue. So it is just such a beautiful shade. If Micka still has this one, which I really hope they do, get it. It is a bit, not flaky, but it's kind of like a dry little piece is there. So I recommend using your finger with it. And if it's too flaky, first like kind of swatch it on the back of your hand and then from the back of your hand apply it on the lids. That's what worked for me. That's how I used it in the first couple uses. Then now that I already have a pan, like I feel like it's a little bit better. And also I repressed it once to make it a little bit more manageable for me. I'm gonna take the shade Biscuit, which is the deep berry shimmer. I'm gonna use it here. Kind of connect it to the liner. And then from the liner kind of into the crease. And this one is also a very pretty shade. It is from this palette and it is beautiful. It's a little bit more like a, not chunky, but it's definitely one of those like a little bit thicker formulas, but it also has a lot of emollient in it. So it is quite easy to like spread it and stuff like that. But you do definitely have to like get used to it. I'm gonna go over it slightly with the shade Enigma. I haven't applied any new like shimmer on my finger, just with whatever was left. I'm just kind of like merging that together. And I know that it might be like kind of annoying when I explain everything I do, since I do similar things in every single look. But if in case anybody is new or just, you know, is kind of lost. And also I know a lot of people who just watch the video, like kind of listen to it, but don't actually like focus on what they're seeing or usually do something else with their eyes. So now I'm using the Goldie shade from the Monk palette. So I feel like it's better to like also verbally describe that. So even if you're not actually like watching and you're just listening, you still kind of know what I'm doing. So this one is going to be in the inner corner, and then I'm going to kind of bring it into the inner, I don't know, like fifth of the lid. And I always slightly envelop this like inner part of the lower lash line, kind of before my first lashes start. Because that's just a look that I really enjoy. And it just kind of makes me very happy. So that's what we're doing today. Yeah, and I'm gonna finish up the look on my own and be right back with the final thing. And here is the rest of the face. So for the rest of the face, I have my Revolution Streamline Eyeliner Pencil in the shade Hot Pink in my waterline. I just felt like it will match the liner quite nicely. I have this Panorama Mascara from L'Oreal on my top lashes, and then Essence All Eyes on Me mascara on my bottom lashes because I'm very close to finish it and it doesn't really work on my top lashes anymore. It's a little bit too dry. And then I have the Super Stick Concealer from Maybelline in the shade 10. Under my on my under eyes, I have this NYX Buttermelt Blush in the shade Sune de Bade, because it's currently in my like everyday makeup drawer for August, and this is how it looks like. It's a beautiful orange. It's just such a, like, I've been panning a lot of orange eyeshadows, and I've been using orange eyeshadows as a blush, and I kind of forget that blush is actually not supposed to be that pigmented. So this one, I felt like I need to use very little, and then I realized, oh wait, this is not eyeshadow, like I can actually go ham and it's not gonna be like crazy. So this one is beautiful, and I'm so happy that I get to use it again. On my lips, I have the Odin's Eye and Angelica Nico's Halloween lipstick, and this one is the matte one in the shade Shadow Creature. It's a beautiful reddish color, and it's been actually kind of harder to apply it today because the applicator had very little product on it. So I feel like maybe we're actually getting to the bottom. I already tried to take the stopper out, but I can't do that. Like it, I don't know if you've ever tried to do that with these Odin's Eye lipsticks, but it is so hard, and I wasn't able to do that on any of my lipsticks from this collection. And I forgot highlighter. So I have the Beauty Bay Mini Charms palette and the shade Pluto. I'm scraping the last bit, and I mixed it with my Glam Shop Sorbet palette and the shade Essentials Brosquini. Yeah, Essentials Brosquini. To make it a little bit more iridescent, sparkly. And I mean, I love this look. And when it comes to this dupe, I'm really enjoying this color story. I definitely want the palette. I'm not gonna get it now though. It's on Monolith, which is usually where I get these indie brands because I'm from Europe and I don't want to spend a lot of money on the taxes and shipping because it is just insane. Like the duties are insane. And I feel like also I never know how much it's gonna be because every single time they operate with completely different numbers. And like even if I have orders that are pretty much the same price and the same shipping price and everything, I always pay different amount for duties. Can somebody explain that to me? Because I really cannot. I really cannot understand that. But this is beautiful color story. Monolith usually has end of the year sale. And if this pad is still there for the sale, or if they have any like Black Friday sales or anything where this pad will be featured, I'm getting it then. But I don't wanna, because I really wanna try Krayptein's Pharma and I really wanna have this color story. It's very unique. There is a little bit, and maybe it's the fact that I have these more like mustardy shades, and I'm not actually sure if they're not supposed to be more brighter, but it kind of reminds me of the Nocturnal palette by Glaminatrix. Obviously, it's not exactly the same, but there are the blues, there are the kind of yellow, mustardy oranges. I think there was also pink, but it was more like a berry, almost reddish pink. So, and I don't have the Nocturnal here with me. I'm gonna have to compare that, but it's giving me like the idea behind Nocturnal. I don't think they're really dupes, but I feel like you could definitely create similar vibe. What I will say though, from the Krayptein's website and the pictures that I saw, I feel like these are a little bit more like airy, fresh, more like pastels to neons, whereas I feel like the Nocturnal is a little bit more like murky. It's slightly more deeper, grungier. So I think the undertone will be a little bit different, but essentially the vibe, in my opinion, is the same. So if you have Nocturnal and you're happy with that color story and you feel like this is exactly the color story and undertones that you're into, maybe you don't need this. Maybe you don't. But if this is still speaking to you and you would still want this, I think it would be a really nice color story. Obviously, I only did 2 looks, but there's so many other options. I think the pink with the light blue would also be very beautiful. And then maybe like the gold shimmer on the lid and then this in the inner corner. Like that could be a gorgeous look. Obviously you can do the yellow and blue. I tried not to do it in this video because I know I always do it, but like when I have blue and yellow in a palette, I always go for that, but I tried to like restrain myself. Also, it would be really pretty is using like either these two or these two on the in the crease, and then this either in the lower lash line or as a cut crease, and then topping it with pretty much any eyeshadow, like any of these more like iridescent lighter shades. Still stunning. Yeah, even just these two would be so pretty. Like I genuinely think that that would be a really beautiful kind of very autumnal color story because obviously this is very like mustardy autumnal shade, and then turquoise, by the way, is very autumnal as well, or aqua. Those go well with autumn shades, so that would be also really pretty. And obviously like you have a lot of monochromatic looks that you can do, kind of like one and done looks. So I highly recommend this color story if it works for you. But if you want to like save some money and you already have Nocturnal, maybe you could like kind of get the same vibe of it. But as I said, I definitely want to get it. I'm just gonna wait for sale so that it's, you know, I'm really trying to save up for a camera, and also I want to give myself time to fully like marinate this thought and see if I actually really need that. and see like how much I would actually use this. I'm gonna try to still play with this color story or with similar shades from my other palettes to kind of really determine how much of a need it is for me. And then I'm gonna introduce it into my collection when I already know, like, yes, this is exactly what I'm committing to. I've heard a lot of great things about Krayptein, so I think that the formula will be just as nice as what I have in front of me. But as I said, that is everything for today. Hope you've had a wonderful day, and I'll be super happy to see you tomorrow with another video. So, bye!